If you've ever lived with a cat, you get it. They can be the most charming, cuddly creatures one minute and then do something that leaves you completely baffled the next. Today, we are going to unlock the cat code. We're going to figure out why they do what they do, starting with, oh yeah, one of the most frustrating problems any cat owner can face. All right, let's just dive right into the big one. Why do cats pee outside the litter box? You've done everything right, you've got a clean box, you've bought the fancy litter, and yet there it is, a puddle on your favorite rug. It is absolutely maddening, and I promise you, if you are dealing with this, you are so not alone. And look, this is way more than just a minor annoyance. This single issue right here is the #1 behavioral reason that cats end up in shelters. So figuring out why this happens, well, it's not just about saving your carpet, it's about keeping these amazing animals in homes where they're loved.
So, to solve this mystery, we have to do something kinda tough. We have to stop thinking like people and start thinking like cats. And the root of the problem, it's this fundamental conflict, right? It's a total mismatch between their ancient, hardwired wildcat instincts and, well, our modern houses.
I mean, just look at your sweet, fluffy pet curled up on the couch, and then look at its ancestor, the African wildcat. Even after 10,000 years, they are basically running on the exact same survival software. It's wild. Unlike dogs, cats were never really bred to change their fundamental behaviors. And what is that software programmed for? One thing: survival as a solitary hunter. So what does that mean? It means a cat's entire world, their whole reality, revolves around controlling a familiar territory, constantly being on the lookout for threats, and this part is so important, hiding any sign of pain or sickness. Because in the wild, weakness gets you killed. For a cat, predictability equals safety. Okay, this is probably the most important thing to get. When your cat pees on the floor, it is not being spiteful. It's not being dumb. It is sending you a distress signal. It's the only way it knows how to scream, "Hey, something is deeply, deeply wrong in my world, and my basic needs are not being met."
So how do we fix it? Well, thankfully, we don't have to guess. Veterinary experts have literally given us a blueprint. It's called the 5 pillars of a healthy feline environment. And trust me, it is the gold standard for creating a home where a cat can actually be happy. Just think of these 5 pillars as the non-negotiables. First, cats need a safe place, a spot to retreat to. Second, they need their own key resources: food, water, litter box, and they need them separated. Third, they need an outlet for that hunter instinct, which is where play comes in. Fourth, they need positive, predictable time with us. And fifth, we have to respect their incredible sense of smell. If even one of these pillars gets shaky, that's when stress builds up and problem behaviors start. Okay, so let's take that 5 pillars idea and apply it directly to the scene of the crime, the litter box. If we focus on their need for safety and their need for resources, we can totally transform their bathroom from a place of stress into a place your cat actually wants to use. Let's break down what that perfect setup looks like. First off, size is a huge deal. The box needs to be at least 1.5 times the length of your cat. They need room to turn around in there. The golden rule for how many you need, it's 1 box per cat plus 1 extra. That prevents any competition or turf wars. And where you put them is critical. You want a quiet, low-traffic spot. And never, I mean never, put it next to their food and water. Think about it. You don't eat in your bathroom, right? And finally, scoop it. At least once a day, every day. All right, let's talk about a major point of conflict: the covered litter box. We humans, we love them, right? They hide the mess, they keep the smell down. But from a cat's point of view, that cover traps all the odors inside, turning it into a foul little porta potty. But even worse, it feels like a trap. It's got one way in, one way out, and it blocks their view. That makes them feel totally vulnerable to an ambush from another pet or even a curious toddler. So what's the easy fix here? It's actually genius in its simplicity, and a study back in 2013 confirmed it. Just offer a choice. It's cafeteria style. Put a covered box and an uncovered box right next to each other, and let your cat vote with its paws. Now, most cats don't really care as long as it's clean, but for the ones that do have a preference, this simple little test can solve the entire problem instantly. Now, for a really critical don't. I don't care how frustrated you get, you can never punish your cat for having an accident. It's right there from the experts. Punishment doesn't teach them to use the box. All it does is teach them to be afraid of you. And it makes them hide when they have to go, which just makes the whole problem a million times worse. But what if you've done everything right? You've got the perfect boxes, they're in the perfect spot, and your cat is still having accidents.
Okay, that right there is a massive red flag. And it's the moment you have to stop thinking about behavior and start thinking about health.
Any sudden change in litter box habits means you call the vet immediately. It could be a sign of a really painful urinary tract disease. It could be diabetes. It could be arthritis that physically hurts them to get into the box. It could even be cognitive issues in an older cat. You simply cannot fix a medical problem with a behavioral solution.
And here's a tricky little psychological piece to this puzzle. Let's say your cat had a painful urinary infection. They might start to associate the litter box itself with that pain. So even after the infection is cured, you might have to completely change the box or move it, just to break that negative association and help them start fresh.
So as we start to bring this all together, it gets pretty clear, right? Creating a cat-friendly home is about so much more than just stopping annoying problems. It's really about creating a space where both you and your cat can actually be happy.
Ultimately, when we make that little bit of effort to see the world from their totally unique wild cat perspective, we do more than just solve a problem. We lower their stress, we improve their health, and we make the incredible bond we have with these amazing little creatures even stronger. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Based on everything we just talked about, what is one simple thing you can change starting today to make your cat's world just a little bit better? Maybe it's adding another water bowl, or maybe it's just scheduling 5 minutes of dedicated playtime. Heck, maybe it's just scooping the litter box one extra time. Every little change really does make a world of difference.